All right, so I think we got things figured out now. Okay, so sorry for the late start, guys. Before we get started, again, if you're just joining us, go ahead and just chime in the comments below if you can see and hear me. Okay, should be good now. I hope we got the last kinks figured out, and it should be okay. All right, we're live on Facebook, YouTube, and on Instagram. So if you're joining us from any of these three platforms, welcome. As I was saying, this is our second live stream for the month of November, because we do have a huge sale going on. So I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about that before we dive into today's topic. For those of you that probably have seen or heard, we have launched our Black November sale, which is the biggest sales event of this year, and we've already started that, a couple of weeks ago, about 2 to 3 weeks ago. About two and a half weeks ago. So we're right in the midst of the sale, and we've already entered into our second phase of the sale. So for those of you that don't know, we do have our embroidery machine packages on sale. Payments as low as $130 a month. As you can kind of see there on the screen, 0% financing. You get free shipping up to $1,500. So the bigger machine you buy, the more savings you're gonna get. And now that we're in phase 2, for those of you that missed phase 1, where you got the most savings, you can still save a lot in phase 2, but you make sure you gotta hurry before the phase 2 ends. Also, in phase 2, you get 50% off of digitizing software upgrades. So if you're upgrading to Chroma Lux or Chroma Plus, you get 50% off of that upgrade price, which can save you, several $100s, easily $500 to $700 in that upgrade cost. So that's what we have going on for our embroidery machine packages. We can just scroll down there to the bottom there, where it shows the phases. I believe phase 2 ends on November 11th. November 21st, which is next Monday, I believe. So if we can scroll down there and take a look at the phases. Scroll down to the phases. Are you at the phases, Daniel? Okay, never mind. I'll just tell you about the phases. The phase 2 will end on next Monday, so you have the rest of this week and Monday to take advantage of phase 2 before prices go up again. We've already ended phase 1 on Saturday, this past Saturday. So we've entered into phase 2 for all of our products. And so in phase 2, you still get a lot of savings, but obviously not as much as in phase 1. So it definitely is a good time to take advantage of any savings if you're looking to purchase something. So we do also have our white toner transfer printers on sale as well for Black November. So besides the embroidery machines, we also have the white toner transfer printers. Those are also on sale. I believe those are $110 per month for 0% financing for the Luminaris 200 white toner transfer printer package. You do get free shipping along with that as well. And you get 20% off of toner cartridges and paper should you want to add on as part of your purchase and take advantage of that. So you can stock up on some of the supplies. But payments as low as $110 per month. We have 2 packages going on, one for the Essentials bundle and another one for the Pro bundle. Both are very good to get started. One gets you a better heat press, so you can do more things. It's a bigger heat transfer area, as well as an auto heat press. So just more things in the package, and an extended warranty too. So if you want to get that peace of mind, definitely choose the Pro bundle. So we have that going on as well, free shipping. And that phase also ends, as you can see down there at the bottom, in 6 days, which is next Monday. So next Monday by 6 p.m., make sure you take advantage of that promotion going on as well. Okay. And then last but not least, on shop.ricoma.com, we also have a shop-wide sale that's going on right now as well for the remainder of Black November. And you get 20% off of chroma upgrades. You get 10% off of heat presses and sewing machines and vinyl cutters, as well as 20% off of any embroidery accessories like 8-in-1 device, robot frame, and things of that nature. All right, so if you're interested to check that out, you also get free shipping on all the heat presses and sewing machines, and any purchases over $1,000. So make sure you check that out. That's a site-wide sale going on for the rest of Black November. Okay, so if you have any questions relating to those things, make sure you chime in down below. I'll make sure to answer them. And then for with regards to the giveaway for today, we will be giving away, as always on our lives, we will be giving away one free 8-in-1 device. So if you're an embroiderer looking to do some sleeves, hard to embroider areas or hard to hoop areas using a traditional hoop, we are giving away an 8-in-1 device, which is about a $250 value right now with the discount on the shop. So if you are looking to kind of win that, make sure you stay till the end, and we'll be announcing the winner, which will be a combination of either a winner from Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram. Okay, so jumping into today's topic, and then feel free to chime in on any questions you guys have. For those of you that are kind of joining us for the first time, let me know in the comments below where you're joining from, so I get an idea of, it's always great to see people from a variety of different places. So it's great to see kind of where you guys are joining from. Let me know in the comments below where you're joining from, and if this is your first time joining us on a live stream, or it's you've seen this multiple times. I do already see a couple of names that seem familiar, so it seems like those are from repeat viewers of our live. But if you're joining for the first time, I would love to know that as well. But yes, we are giving away the 8-in-1 device at the end of this live stream. So we got people from South Carolina, from Denver, from Oklahoma, Atlanta, Miami. I've seen Ada Montesino definitely before. From Central California, Texas, Arizona. Awesome, great. So a bunch of people from a variety of different places, and we got people from first timer, Los Angeles, Ohio. Nice, awesome, great. Great. So today's topic, we're going to talk about 3 rules that every custom apparel business owner should live by, and these are kind of rules that, or kind of really guidances that we've compiled that I think is super important for business owners, especially in the apparel decoration space, to make sure that they are mindful of. Okay. The first thing that I want to talk about is building relationships with your suppliers. And I think that's super important because a lot of times you are buying bulk orders or fulfilling bulk orders, and you need to make sure that you get the right supplies, right? You need to get the right supplies not only for your threads or bobbin if you're doing embroidery, or you're getting ink, and especially I think what's more important are blank apparel. You have to have blank apparel for all of your jobs, and blank apparel is something probably the most important piece of the cost of your production process. And so people that are getting good deals on a blank apparel and having relationships with suppliers, you're able to get better deals and at wholesale prices. That's going to help you with regards to your pricing for the blanks that you're purchasing. And one thing I typically tell people to do is make sure that, especially when you're just starting out, make sure you create an LLC or a business so that you have a tax ID. And then you can use your tax ID to register wholesale accounts with all of these different blank suppliers. And even with ongoing consumable supplies, there are companies that wholesale, and it's if you don't have a tax ID and you're buying at retail, it's going to be much higher, and you have to pay sales tax on that. And then if you have wholesale accounts, you're able to get much better pricing and therefore save you a lot of money, and be able to give you better margins when you're producing these garments for your clients. So that's something that a lot of people overlook and probably don't do as often as they should. And having these wholesale accounts is definitely super important to make sure that you get the best pricing possible, and you can get also, you know, save a lot on not having to pay sales tax that eventually goes to the government anyways. So you can save quite a bit, up to probably, you know, 20-30%, I would say, given the sales tax element. If you're buying wholesale and then you're just reselling it, you don't have to pay sales tax on the purchase. And then two, you're probably getting at least a 10 to 15% discount on off of retail price if you buy it from a wholesale account. Okay, so make sure you take advantage of that. Let me know in the comments below if you guys already are doing that, and how many of you have wholesale accounts established with different suppliers, or you know, you're in the process of doing that. Let me know in the comments below what you guys are doing currently with regards to establishing the relationships with your suppliers. Yeah, and Big Mama Bren asked or mentioned on YouTube, and payment terms helps too. Yeah, some wholesalers definitely will give you payment terms, maybe a net 30, even a net 15 or a net 30, or sometimes even net 60 or 90 can give you a lot of good payment terms, so that you don't have to, you know, pay up front, and it can help your cash flow situation. So if you know, I would say not every supplier, not every wholesaler is going to give you terms, but if you establish the relationships with them, there's definitely some, and many of our vendors definitely give us terms, because of the volume that you buy or the relationship that you have. All of that is going to help you, right, with your cash flow, so that you don't have to pay up front, and you can have, you know, 30 days or whatever the case is to make that payment, and that's only gonna help you from your cash flow situation, and you can in the meantime invest that into something else and be able to kind of have a better cash flow status on your income statement, or in your balance sheet, so to speak, so that the financial health of your organization is going to be much better if you don't have to pay right up front. Even like a net 15 can definitely help, you know, with that turnaround time for the payment. Yeah, so some people have like net 30 with SNS and SanMar, which is great. So all of that can definitely help. Yeah, and someone mentioned here also, most wholesalers won't give a wholesale account without a business. And that's right. That's why I said the first thing you probably want to do is get a tax ID. So establish an LLC or something so that you can get a tax ID. Okay. All right, so the second thing, if you have any questions on that, make sure to chime in. The second thing that I want to mention is knowing your customers. And I know this might sound obvious, but knowing your customers from the sense that you're constantly collecting feedback. You're constantly listening to what their needs are, and then therefore making the changes and pivoting and adapting and expanding your business based on that feedback. This will lead very well into the third point, which I'll talk about in just a bit. But if you're listening to your customers, you already know when to expand. You already know how to operate your business, which areas are insufficient. You know, maybe it's your turnaround time, maybe it's the quality of your work, or whatever the case is. But more importantly, it helps with your expansion in terms of if you're listening to your customers. And one example I always give is if you're doing embroidery and someone else comes, or you get a lot of requests asking for sublimation, or heat transfer, right, or printing in general, and you're not offering that currently. Maybe that's something that you need to expand into if you repeatedly get these requests from your customers, because they might just go to someone else and get everything done. Maybe someone else has embroidery and printing, and they can get everything done with one person rather than having to do embroidery with you and then printing somewhere else, right? So listening to your customers also gives you a hint on when to expand, because I get this question a lot where people ask, okay, how do I know when to take my business to the next step, or what's that, how do I know when to make that investment into additional equipment or different equipment to be able to expand my business? And one thing that I say that's very easy to do is listen to your customers. If you are getting these repeat requests, it's probably a huge hint that it's going to be beneficial for you to expand into that other segment of the business, especially because you already have an established client base and you're able to just go ahead and offer this additional service to those existing clients. It really de-risks your entire transaction process, right? You might think that investing in additional equipment, whether it be $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, might be additional risk, which is true. But if you are de-risking that by the fact that your customers are already asking, right? Your existing customers are already asking for this new product that you're able to offer if you have this equipment. It really de-risks that purchase of the equipment, right? And imagine combining that with having a better cash flow situation, as I mentioned in the first point. If you're in a good cash flow situation, you have payables outstanding because you have terms with your suppliers, and your receivables are not outstanding because you're people that are looking for customized apparel are paying upfront, or at least a 50% deposit upfront. You're getting a lot of the receivables very, very quickly, and you have outstanding payables that you can have terms with your suppliers. That gives you in a pretty good positive cash flow situation, and you can take that cash flow and invest into additional equipment that can build your business even further. So imagine combining the fact that you're listening to customer feedback and you're knowing when to scale with the fact that you're in a good cash flow and financial situation. Then you can definitely make that investment into the next step, into the next level. Not to mention, even if you don't have a huge cash reserve that's sitting there, because of the financing options, especially the 0% financing options that we offer here at Ricoma, you can really get into any equipment with just $100, $200 of monthly payment. So setting aside a huge cash reserve and then putting that all into equipment is not necessary if you have good credit, and you're able to get financing approved, especially with 0%. It's like interest-free money, right? It's just free money that you don't have to pay interest on, and you can save your cash and build up that reserve in case of an emergency in your business. Something breaks, something goes awry, maybe business takes a downturn. You have enough cash reserve to be able to fill that hole and not go under, but be in a good enough of a cash flow situation that you can still invest into additional equipment because of the 0% financing and the great monthly payments, the low monthly payments that companies like Ricoma is able to offer. So something to think about, especially when you're thinking about expanding into other lines of business. Definitely look at financing and how that plays into your cash flow situation. All right, the last point that I want to make on the final rule that every customer apparel business owner should live by is ultimately becoming the one-stop shop. And this ties into my second point of knowing when to expand by listening to your customers, listening to customer feedback, knowing your customers, because ultimately part of that is going to translate into you becoming the one-stop shop, because you will know when to expand and what areas to expand into based on the customer feedback. And really being a one-stop shop, I think it's the ultimate dream for a lot of apparel decorators, because being that one-stop shop gives you so many different options, and at a much better competitive scale versus your competition, because you're just able to offer everything under one roof. So you're able to do like screen printing and embroidery and sublimation and heat transfer and direct to garment and direct to film, etc., etc. If you're able to offer all of that, when the customer comes to you, they know they have options. And when they have options, that's a premium that customers are willing to pay. There's a reason why, having options, it costs more. There's a premium that people will pay for having options. So if you have more options, more different types of products and services to offer to your customers, that will put you at a premium over the competition. That gives you more options to present, and therefore customers see that as a value that your business is able to provide that other businesses might not be able to provide. So optionality now also, and being the one-stop shop, not only comes from the different apparel decoration methods, but also different types of apparel. right? If you're looking, if you've started out specializing in polo shirts, and maybe you want to expand beyond that into caps. If you started in caps, maybe expand into patches, right? Having different types of apparel decoration techniques is one thing. Having different types of apparel underneath that apparel decoration technique will add even more variety and options for your customers. And as I just mentioned, options is worthwhile. It's a premium, and people are willing to pay more for having options. And so that perceived value is going to just drive your business growth that much further by providing all of these options for your customers. And that's something that is quite important for a lot of consumers when they're shopping around and looking at what business to purchase from. Having optionality is definitely something that they want to be able to have as a premium. And even though you might have a lot of options, it's not necessarily that having too much options is going to overwhelm the consumer. Up to a certain point, definitely having a lot of options, people are going to have that choice to make, and maybe they're not able to make that choice as quickly as you would like them to make that choice. But then that's your job as the business owner or as the salesperson to actually guide them to the right choice, right? By providing, I don't think that just because you want to deter people from taking so long to make choices that you stop yourself from providing those choices. You should have a variety of choices, and if there are a lot of them, you should know the value of each choice based on the customer's situation, aka qualifying them, qualifying the customer to be able to then guide them into the right service, the right product, the right technique for the apparel that they're looking for. Right? If they're looking for something that is going to be more comfortable, maybe you offer your garments that are cotton. If they're looking for more performance-based type of apparel, that's that it absorbs sweat or whatever, right? Then you can offer something that's polyester. So knowing your customer's needs, but having those options and the variety of apparel decoration methods and different types of apparel will just get you more better expansion into kind of the minds of the consumer, and therefore the consumer having options is just going to be that much better for your business as a whole, because having options, it will attract people simply by having options, right? That in and of itself is a value that a business can provide by having options. So I hope that was helpful. Those are the 3 rules that I kind of gathered over the years as to kind of like the common things that people are missing, and that are probably easier said than done, but it can add a lot of value to your business. Those are things that you probably want to think about on how to make this happen. All right, so that's kind of it for the kind of spiel that I wanted to give for today. If you guys have any questions about what I just mentioned, if you want to chime in maybe with your own comment below, feel free to do that. If you have any questions about it, feel free to do that as well. And then for the rest of the next 20-25 minutes, what we're going to do is kind of go over any questions you guys might have about the apparel decoration business in general, and then we can kind of go over that if you guys wish. And it'll just kind of take it, kind of the flow will be controlled by kind of how what your guys' questions are, and then kind of answer that. I'll be jumping back and forth between YouTube, Facebook, and on Instagram to answer some of these questions. So let's start with the YouTube questions. And feel free to chime in already. Like if you have questions, just type them in the comment below. I'll kind of scroll back and look at them. So T-Town T-Shirts on YouTube says, I'm just at a year with my machine, and I bought mine at this time last year. and I'm ready already to get another. Love my TC 1501. Awesome, good to hear, and good to hear that you're expanding as well. So definitely happy for you that your business is at that level where, even if you're not looking to expand into other decoration methods, you can also scale up within your vertical, right? Like if you're doing embroidery and you have a single head and you're getting like 200 pieces of caps or 200 pieces of beanies and shirts to do, you're going to be overwhelmed with just a single head. So expanding vertically into kind of getting more equipment to increase your capacity and be able to turn around things faster and just not have to be producing items all the time, and you can work on expanding your business even further. You can purchase additional equipment in that vertical and kind of focus on the same thing, just increasing your production capacity. Alexis 1994 on Instagram. Here's a question: if my logo is already 3D puff digitized for a hat, can I still use it for a beanie, or do you need to tell the digitizer to fix it? So here's what I would say. They're both going to be embroidered on the cap frame, so I think from that standpoint they're pretty similar. The biggest difference, though, however, is on the cap. It's not a knit material. On the beanie, it's very knit material, right? So there might be some density issues that you have to fix on the beanie because a lot of the threads going to sink in and be bunched up together, and that you won't get on the hat, right? So if you just keep it the same and you keep the same density, it might kind of bunch up on you on the beanie, and that's gonna not make the design look very good. So I would say that definitely you want to make some tweaks. Just off the top of my head, I would think that if I were to do it, I would make some tweaks to accommodate the knit material, and depending on the density and how dense the design is, you might want to make some adjustments, because the hat, it's already very structured, right? The front panel of the cap, but on the beanie where you're embroidering on, it's going to be a knit material, so the density could play a factor in how bunched up the design actually looks. So it might be distorted slightly if you embroider on the beanie with just the same design. The t-shirt buddy on Instagram says, just purchased my MT1501 and can't wait to get it in a couple of weeks. Awesome. Good to hear that. Did you purchase during the Black November sale? All right, let's see some questions on YouTube. Let's see here. Yeah, see, a lot of people already took advantage of some of the sales going on here. Lamb Crafted Embroidery, thank you. Also got the premium bundle with the Luminaries 200. Great. Peru BX 2012. Waiting on my machine to arrive today. Super excited. Awesome. Terry Abbott. I have an EM1010 and an MT1502, and I need another. Just moved from my home to a shop as I needed more room. The storefront definitely helps the customer base. Yeah, awesome. Great. Glad to hear that. Not many people move to a storefront, so your ability to do that, obviously with rent and everything, definitely means your business is in a good place. And especially because you started with the EM1010 and went to a 1502, so you now have two machines and you probably need another, you said. So it seems like business is doing well. Kenneth Ferguson says, I definitely agree that you'll outgrow one machine easily. Yeah, it really depends on your volume, right? Like if you're doing this just starting out, a single head machine can definitely be pretty viable. Doing 10, 20 pieces here and there, yeah, you can pump it out in a couple of hours and not have to worry about it too much. But once you get into like the 50 pieces, 100 pieces consistently, you're gonna be embroidering for days, like 50 pieces. You know, realistically, even a simple design on a left chest logo, you're gonna be embroidering 50 pieces. Like you can probably do maybe 5 pieces an hour, right? 5 to 6 pieces an hour if you're quick. If for a small design on the left chest logo. So for 50 pieces, you gotta be embroidering like 8 to 10 hours straight, right? That's 8 to 10 hours of pure embroidering. And you're not going to do that in a day. You're going to spread that out. You got to do other stuff. You got to go take a bathroom break and sleep. So the 8 to 10 hours, you're going to probably spread out over the course of like 3 to 4 days. And next thing you know, you're fulfilling an order that takes like a 3-4 day turnaround. When someone that has like a 2-head machine can fill that out in 1 or 2 days, right? So it's just a matter of knowing kind of where you stand in terms of your efficiency and your workflow and your production capacity. Because once you have to realize that if you have a machine and you're being bogged down by operating the machine, you're not going to have time to scale your business, meaning talk to customers, figure out what the customer service and drum up more business by, going out there and doing marketing and acquiring more leads and prospects, right? You won't have time to do that if all you're doing is fulfilling orders. So at a certain point, you have to be able to expand either by hiring someone to actually do the operations and operating the machine, and then you can work on something else, or you got to get more machines so that you can kind of finish orders faster and carve out time for yourself to be able to drum up more business. That's the only way that you're going to be able to scale. Rachel Wakwia on YouTube asks, what are the requirements to qualify to become a Garmio vendor? Great question. And I'll preface that by saying that right now on Garmio, we're not accepting new vendors at this time. We have like several hundred applications in our pipeline of people that are wanting to become Garmio vendors that we are vetting. So, and right now we're kind of revamping the website. We're testing something new, and we're working on more of the marketing side of Garmio, so not so much focusing on getting new vendors onboarded. That being said, once we kind of open the floodgates again on onboarding new vendors, the qualifications are can be broken down in several ways. One, obviously, we need to know what kind of equipment you have so that we know whether you do embroidery, you do printing, or both, right? So what kind of apparel decoration methods you're able to fulfill. And second, we need to know your location, your capacity, like how frequently you're dedicated to this platform on Garmio. That way it lets us know if we can send orders your way and you're able to fulfill it in a timely manner. Because on Garmio, the turnaround time is pretty stringent. There's a certain turnaround time depending on the size of the order for how long you have to fulfill that order. Because we want to maintain a high level of satisfaction for the consumers that are ordering on Garmio, and therefore we require vendors to have that capacity. So we also vet your capacity, and that has to be realistic compared to the type of machines you have, right? So we have to understand kind of what kind of equipment you have and how many heads you have. For example, if you're doing embroidery, how many DTG machines you have, if you're doing printing, etc. So we know your capacity and your production level. Then after knowing that, it's really helping you understand what type of items also that we need to understand what type of items you can do, right? Some people don't do hats, and if we know that, then we can't send hat orders to you. Some people specialize in patches, so we will know that, like, okay, for patches in this geographic area, we'll focus on this vendor. So the system kind of it's tailored so that it can get the right order at the right time to the right person. So that's kind of why we vet vendors on Garmio, to make sure that it's in a geographically located area that we want to kind of have a vendor in, that you can cover a certain region, that you can have a quick turnaround time, that you have good quality, and you can fulfill the type of items that we're looking to fulfill, right? That we have on our shop. So if we have like beanies or hats and stuff, we need vendors that are qualified to do that in different regions. So that's really the criteria: the type of equipment you have, your turnaround time and your capacity, your location, and the type of items that you do. And for those of you that don't know what Garmio is, and I'm sure there's many of you that don't, basically Garmio is like an Uber, a platform for apparel decoration. So people, vendors, and basically apparel decorators can sign up to be a part of Garmio, and orders will get routed to them. Obviously, for a fee, orders will get routed to them, and you can fulfill those orders, so that you can kind of increase your capacity, and then Garmio kind of does the marketing. The other part of Garmio that's helpful is you can we're coming out with an order management system, so that you can manage your own orders on Garmio also. That will help you with, like, people ask me all the time what software I recommend for invoicing and keeping track of orders and the stages of different orders. All of that can be kind of managed with our Garmio platform and the tools that are available on the platform. Douglas De Simone, do you offer a discount for ordering a second machine from you? Currently have a MT1501. Well, the biggest discount you're going to get is right now during Black November, which, by the way, phase two of Black November ends next Monday. So if you're looking to get a second machine, this will be the best time to do so. There's no better time to do so. All right, let's see any questions from Facebook here. Let me see. Yeah, a lot of people on Facebook also just got their MT 2001, just got the MT 1502. Great. Order the MT 1501 during the first phase of Black November. Anxiously waiting to receive mine. From Steve Crowder. Awesome. Great, great, great. Deborah Hall, very excited, waiting to receive my 15 needle embroidery. Okay, yeah, I mean, the seems like a lot of people took advantage of the Black November sale for the first phase. As I mentioned, the first phase is gone, so unfortunately you can't get those discounts anymore. But phase 2 is happening right now, and that's one of the reasons why we're having this live right now, is to remind people of that. And make sure you take advantage of phase 2 before it goes to the phase 3, which is the last chance that you'll have to save. Counter to it's kind of, people are used to maybe waiting till Black Friday, like maybe waiting until like after Thanksgiving for the best deal, right? Because they feel like, oh, it's Black Friday, like that might be the best deal. But I can tell you for a fact that that's not going to be the case, because we started Black November for this exact reason, so that people don't have to all rush at the last minute, because we experienced that several years ago when everybody came in through Black Friday, and then we were like overwhelmed with the number of inquiries, and we couldn't get to a lot of people. So a lot of people were like left out, right? And so we decided to expand the time frame in which we had this Black November, so you give you the whole month, but to still incentivize those quick movers and the fast action takers, we broke it down into 3 different phases. So the longer you wait, the less discount you're gonna get. So for the people that are moving quickly, at the start of Black November in the first phase, you're getting the steepest discount. Now we're in phase 2. So unfortunately, phase 1 ended last Friday. So now we're in phase 2, and in phase 2, you still get a pretty dang good deal. Especially compared to anything else that's out there and anything else that we've offered in the past. You get free shipping, as I mentioned. You get 0% financing, as I mentioned, and I think the machines are discounted too. So it's what is it? It's $130 per month. They will go up to $135 per month during the last phase. So it's $130 per month for the entry level EM1010 machine, the 10 needle embroidery machine that we have. $130 per month. You get free shipping. You get 50% off of any Chroma upgrades. It comes with Chroma Inspire. If you want to upgrade to the 2nd or the 3rd tier of Chroma, you get 50% off of that upgrade. So all of that is still a pretty good deal, and those are going to go away once it hits phase 3, right? The prices are going to go up. The discounts on Chroma are going to decrease. So you're not going to get as big of a savings as if you get in now. So for those that missed phase 1 or are just hearing about our Black November sale right now, it's not too late. Just make sure that you don't wait till phase 3 when there's going to be less savings. And for those that are last minute procrastinators, definitely don't wait till phase 3 is over, because then you've missed the entire thing. All right. So let me see if there's any other questions here before we wrap things up. John Sposado asks, what's the best way to communicate issues either within Chroma or the firmware in the machine? I have the 2001, the MT2001, and then it has needs some control panel attention. Go to ricoma.com/support and fill in the ticket, and our team will be able to get in touch with you. Our support team will be able to get in touch with you. Okay, I also see some other questions here on the screen. I guess we captured some screenshots of people asking some of these questions. One question here is from Rin Stitches. We ordered the Luminarious White Toner Transfer Bundle, and I was wondering if you have pricing advice for t-shirts, hats, etc. Yeah, so always price based on time. That's my general philosophy and the approach that we teach here. So price based on time. White toner transfer is relatively quick. You're printing out sheets after sheet. You can even save them in advance and press them in bulk. I would say in general, right? Just this is again a very quick answer. You would need to really dive into your business and how that works and your cost structure to really kind of fine tune what your cost is going to be. But typically, maybe a wholesale t-shirt costs you $4 to $5, right? And then you can probably sell that market price for a white toner transfer t-shirt that's full color, probably for about $20 to $25, okay? Probably, right around the $20 mark. It really depends on the size of the design and how complex the design is. But I would say $20 to $25 to be safe, and that gives you a good, $15 to $20 margin. That being said, you really want to price based on time and determine how many of these t-shirts can you pump out in 1 hour and work backwards from that. I'm not going to get into too much detail on the pricing formula. I have like multiple videos on YouTube that teaches that, even though it's focused on embroidery and DTG. The concept remains the same. You determine how much profit you want to make on an hourly basis. Maybe you say like, hey, I want to make $50 per hour. All right. Then you determine how many shirts you can produce in that hour. That way you can work backwards to reach your hourly profit. If you can produce 10 shirts per hour, let's say, which is pretty quick. If you can produce 10 shirts per hour and you're looking to make $50 per hour, you only have to make a profit of $5 per shirt that you sell to reach your target goal of $50 per hour. So $5 of profit, you can even sell the t-shirt for 10, 12 bucks, and you can make your $5 of profit if you can pump out those t-shirts very, very quickly. That obviously depends on your process. It depends on the design, and all of that. So that's why each situation is different. If it's a very complex design and you're not able to do as many in a given hour, or you're just learning the process and you're slower in ramping up, then maybe you need to make higher profit margins to justify for that time. So maybe you have to sell the t-shirt at $15, $18, per t-shirt to make $10 to $15 of profit per hour, because you can only make, say, 4 to 5 t-shirts per hour, right? So it really depends on how much your productivity is, but everything is based on time, and it's based on how much you want to make on an hourly basis and how much you can produce on an hourly basis, so that you work backwards to determine what to charge. David Saffold asks, considering the state of the economy, is now still a good time to get into the embroidery business? If so, what tips and suggestions would you give to be successful out the gate? So this is a great question, David, and I'm sure a lot of people have this on their mind. The state of the economy is definitely in flux, and it's uncertain, right? People are talking about a recession. Some people say we're already in a recession. Inflation is at all-time highs, although recently it has come down a bit, and so markets are responding to that, right? So it's good that kind of inflation is a little bit under control, as it seems. And it's not at all-time highs anymore, but the looming of a recession, the possibility of a recession, is still kind of hanging in the balance. So I get all that, and interest rates are at near all-time highs, and as high as back in like 2008. So all of this kind of is putting a pumping the brakes on the economy. And so to your question, knowing that uncertainty, is it still a good time to get into the business? I would say that if you are savvy with your money, and you're looking to invest into something, and careful with your expenses, where you're not spending on useless things, and you have enough of a reserve, and then you're in a good financial situation where you are trying to make an investment for the future, investing into a commercial machinery, or a commercial embroidery machine to get started in the embroidery business, you are making an investment. It's not creating a liability for you, right? So you're investing in an asset. You're investing in a business that's going to generate you, hopefully, more income. And I always tell people this, that if you're investing when there's a downturn, when there's uncertainty, there's always opportunity. So when others might be kind of fearful and thinking about whether to get into this business in the meantime, if you're kind of taking advantage of 0% financing, where there's no and 0% down, so there's no down payment and really low monthly payments for you to now start a side hustle or a new business that can generate you additional income, I think that in itself is going to pay off in the long run. Also, so that's the first point. That if you are savvy with your money, and you're not spending on useless things, and you have enough of a cash reserve, now's the time to probably invest, and no better time to jump in when you're investing into a business that can generate you additional income. The other part of that is, I also feel that on the demand side, embroidery and custom apparel and apparel decoration in general is pretty recession proof. Now, the reason why I say that is people are always going to wear apparel. I don't see that going away anytime soon. And two, every business needs some sort of branding, especially during a downturn, to get the word out there. So businesses are going to need branding and apparel. And really, apparel decoration is just one way of doing branding, right? You can advertise, you can do it digitally, but apparel is something that is a staple. It's always going to be there, and it's something that's a good way to brand a business. So knowing that, people are going to be more receptive to invest into an apparel decoration business, because they know the demand is always going to be there. And I really feel that way, because I haven't seen the apparel decoration demand take a dive just because because of the looming recession or this uncertainty. Sure, people might cut back on the discretionary spending, but I feel that with decorated apparel, because it's so critical to every business, even during a downturn, businesses, at least the savvy ones, have to grow their revenue, right? Like they have to. The unsavvy ones are having a knee-jerk reaction and cutting back cost, and trying to save themselves, like try to save money and use that as a way to save themselves out of a recession. But the savvy ones, they are not looking to kind of just cut back costs and play defense. They're looking to play offense by looking to how to acquire more customers, how to increase their spending in advertising, so that this is the opportunity to capture more market share. Because while everyone else is pulling back, the savvy ones are pushing forward and playing offense and be able to capture more of the market share and be more aggressive in their branding and advertisement to capture new revenue. So knowing that, and the savvy businesses that implement that, they're going to need apparel in some shape or form because they need branding. And so branding is never going to go away. It's even in a recession, people are probably more prone to want to get their brand out there to kind of grow themselves out of recession by growing their revenue. So they're going to have the demand for decorated apparel, and that kind of plays well into your hands. Being an apparel decorator, you're gonna be in a position to be able to kind of grow the business further if you're investing into the right equipment and right processes and putting in the effort to grow this business even during uncertainty. I've seen some of the best businesses grow out of uncertainty, especially during the pandemic, for example. People that invested in e-commerce and online and building their website and kind of investing in equipment during that time have grown tremendously out of the recession. So I think it's kind of recession proof, and has it's a kind of a staple in every business's branding strategy. So I hope that answers your question, but it was a great question, and I hope that kind of sheds some light and color into kind of how I think about the situation. All right, we will kind of go over any other additional questions. Let me see if there's... Etienne Customs on Instagram says, how can I get more customers, and what platform should I use to start an online store? Probably the easiest way to go is Shopify, and then ask around your local network first, friends and family, and make introductions to people that might get you into a B2B account. And then for an online store, I would just start with Shopify. That's the easiest way. And yes, start with that, and start with the low-hanging fruit of looking at your local network to get some early orders. Build that off of different reviews and testimonials when you do great work. Be consistent on social media to show your content and your process. Just document your process when you're embroidering something, right? And then post that on your social media account. And then just use Shopify to take care of the e-commerce part, get some early orders, and I would get started that way. Vanna ND asks, how many months is the financing for? So it's 72 months for the embroidery machines and 60 months for the white toner transfer printer. All right. I think those are all the questions that we have. We are going to wrap things up here. So to wrap things up, for those of you that are joining us late, if you don't know already, I kind of talked about this in the beginning and towards the end here about our Black Friday or Black November sales that's going on. So first and foremost, we do have the Black November sale for our embroidery machines. They're going for $130 per month for the EM1010, the entry-level machine. And we do have free shipping going on for that as well, if you can pull that up to the screen. We have 0% financing for 72 months and free shipping for the embroidery machine packages. You also get 50% off of Chroma digitizing software upgrades. So if you're looking to upgrade to Chroma Plus or Chroma Lux, you get up to $700 of savings there if you upgrade to Chroma Lux, because normally the upgrade is $1,400, but 50% off of that is $700. So you can get an upgrade at 50% off. That's also something that we're offering for the embroidery machines. For the Luminaris white toner transfer printer, we're offering that as well for Black November. That is $110 per month for 0% financing for 60 months. You also get free shipping on that, and you get 20% off of all toner supplies and paper. So definitely take advantage of that as well if you're looking for a white toner transfer printer. We also have free shipping on that if I haven't mentioned that already. For the white toner transfer printer, as I mentioned, not only do you get the free shipping and the low monthly payment, but you get 20% off of any toner cartridges and paper. So if you're looking to stock up and you know that you're going to need more toner, especially the white toner, that's the most frequently used toner in the white toner transfer printer, as well as paper, which is the biggest consumable that you'll have in the white toner transfer printing. You need these transfer paper to transfer your designs onto. Make sure you kind of stock up on those. Those are all 20% off for Black November. All right. Last but not least, on the shop.ricoma.com, on our online store, we do have 10% off plus free shipping on heat presses, sewing machines, and vinyl cutters. And we have 20% off of Chroma software and Ricoma embroidery accessories, like the 8-in-1 device, which we'll be giving one away at the end of this live stream. Ricoma, also the robot frame to do shoes and bags and be able to clamp those. We also have the laser device. We have a belt hoop that's also on sale for 20% off. So you get 20% off of those accessories and Chroma. If you're looking to just upgrade your software, you're not looking to purchase another machine. And mind you, if you purchase a machine during Black November, right now in phase 2, you get 50% off of a Chroma upgrade. If you already have a machine and you're just looking to buy a Chroma upgrade, you can get it for 20% off on the store. Okay. What else am I missing? For any orders over $1,000 on shop.ricoma.com, you also get free shipping. And you get all free shipping on heat presses, sewing machines, and all of that as well. Okay? So hopefully that helps. That's a tremendous deal that's going on. And as I mentioned before, phase 2, if you're looking to buy a machine, either an embroidery machine or a white toner transfer printer during this time, take advantage of phase 2 pricing, because phase 1 already passed. It ended last Friday. That was the biggest savings. Unfortunately, we can't bring that back. But for phase 2, you do have until next Monday. All right, it's now Tuesday, November 15th. You have till next Monday at 6 p.m. to take advantage of phase 2. It's reduced pricing, it has free shipping, and the 50% off of Chroma upgrades. All of that will increase and go away by the time we get to phase 3. So as you can see there, phase 2 is $130 per month, and it ends on November 21st. And once November 21st hits, it's $135 per month for the embroidery machines. All right, and you don't get 50% off of Chroma upgrades. You only get 25% off. So don't miss that and regret not pulling the trigger earlier, especially because I'm telling you about it. All right, so I think that's it for what we got on the announcements. Last but not least, we'll announce the giveaway for the free 8-in-1 device. So for those of you that don't know what the 8-in-1 device does, for those of you that are embroiderers on this channel, you can use the 8-in-1 device. It's 8 different frames in one single setup. And you can use them for a variety of different things. You can use them for the back of caps. You can use them for like sleeves and pockets. You can use them for like baby onesies. You can use a variety of different things to be able to kind of embroider things that you normally wouldn't be able to do with a regular hoop. So that's why it's called an 8-in-1 device, because it has 8 different frames all packaged into one, and you can use them for a variety of different things. So usually used for hard to hoop items like your pockets, sleeves, collars, baby onesies, back of caps. All of those are great using this device. All right, it's over a $250 value, and we're giving that away to one lucky winner from either Instagram, YouTube, or on Facebook. Okay, so let's see here. All right, so I'm just getting notice of the winner on this 8-in-1 device. The winner is going to be Big Mama Bren on YouTube. All right, Big Mama Bren on YouTube is going to be the winner of our giveaway for the 8-in-1 device. So congrats, Big Mama Bren. If you're here on YouTube, make sure you comment so we know that you're here. And let's see. All right, so I do see Big Mama Bren already commenting. Make sure you comment that you know that you won. I see you on YouTube here already. So we will get in touch with you. Our team will contact you and get in touch so that you can get your we can get your shipping info and get that shipped out to you. Okay, so Big Mama Bren is the winner, and congrats to the winner of the 8-in-1 device. Hopefully you put it to good use. All right, so congrats, and hopefully you put it to good use. Love to see some of your work on the 8-in-1. If you can, definitely use it for those things. Don't just have it sit in the box. And then so for those of you that have joined us, hopefully you found this information helpful about the 3 different things that every apparel decoration business owner should live by. As I mentioned, you want to make sure that you establish these business accounts and vendor accounts, essentially wholesale accounts with vendors of supplies and blanks, so that you can get wholesale pricing and save you 10 to 15% off of the retail price and not have to pay sales tax. Also, make sure that you kind of listen to your customers so you know the feedback from your customers on knowing when to expand. And then last but not least, expand into that one-stop shop, not only offering different varieties of apparel decoration methods like embroidery, screen printing, sublimation, heat transfer, etc., but also embroidering or decorating different things, caps, patches, jackets, bags, right? Like expanding your skill set and verticals so that you can give a lot more options to your customers, because having options is going to be a premium, and that's going to draw more customers to you. All right, so those are the 3 things that I mentioned. Hopefully you found that helpful. Go ahead and implement that into your business. Don't forget, Black November Phase 2 ends next Monday. We got the sale on the embroidery machines, the sale on the white toner transfer printers. Make sure you follow that and get in touch with our product specialist so you take advantage of that sale before Phase 2 ends, again next Monday, November 21st at 6 p.m. Okay, that's going to be the biggest savings to date if you get in now. It's only going to go up on Phase 3 once we cross into the last stage of Black November promo. Okay. All right, so I think that's it for us for today, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't followed us already on Instagram, it's at Ricoma HQ. Make sure you follow us there, at Ricoma HQ. On YouTube, make sure you subscribe so you keep up to date with lives like this, as well as new videos that we pump out every single week. There's a bunch of tutorials, like people that were asking about pricing questions, they're all on YouTube, okay? So make sure you take advantage of that as well. Follow us on and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and like this video if you found it helpful. And last but not least, we're also on TikTok for some entertaining content at Ricoma HQ as well. So on TikTok, we have some entertaining content there. YouTube, make sure to subscribe, and Instagram, make sure to follow us all on at Ricoma HQ. All right, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll probably be back again at the end of this month before we wrap up the Black November promo. So hopefully to see you guys in the next couple of weeks. All right, make sure you take advantage of the Black Friday sale or Black November sale before prices go up again. And hopefully see you guys in a couple of weeks. Thanks, and until next time.